Everybody, this is Greg. This video is going to be about my initial look at the Seestar 50. I just picked it up the other day and I did not think I would ever get a Seestar 50. It is an electronic assisted astronomy device, and what that means is the cell phone here and the unit by itself will find the stars, do its automatic alignment, take fairly decent images, and all for the price of around $500. There have been a lot of videos that have not been that glowing about the Seestar 50 because the quality of the images are not what you would expect out of current modern astrophotography rigs. My ASIair rig with the Edge HD8 costs around $5,000 to $6,000, and those get spectacular images. Do I expect that out of the Seestar 50 for $500? No, I don't. So basically what happened is I was at a star party the other weekend. It was kind of cloudy. There was no way I was going to set up, and a fellow club member sets up his Seestar and gets a spectacular image of M51 in sky conditions that I did not really expect. So I can see now where the Seestar 50 is going to be a companion to most amateur astronomers, much the same way that binoculars are a companion for amateur astronomers. Most everybody has a pair of binoculars, and I think eventually most everybody's going to have one of these Seestar 50s. You can take it with you when you travel pretty easily. I think this will fit in the carry-on bin on an airplane. You could easily put it in a trunk and take it with you when you go on a trip a couple states away or a couple 100 miles away or whatever. So it's very convenient. You're going to get fairly decent pictures on your phone, and if nothing else, it's going to promote and prompt interest in the hobby. I have not seen my club members be so enthused about any one single device as being able to set this guy up, and next thing you know, you're taking halfway decent pictures. Everybody's thrilled about that. So let's get started. I'm gonna set up the Seestar 50, connect to it with my phone, and just see how easy it is. All right, well, now that I have it set up, let's go ahead and power it up and see what happens. All you do is screw this tripod into the bottom of the Seestar 50 and hit the button. So let's go ahead and do it. You may want to level the Seestar 50 at some point, and I did get this little ball head, but I think there are other options for leveling Seestar 50, other levelers by Near. I may have a separate video about that in the future. There you go. It took a couple tries. I did see a report on the interweb about people who have had this guy for several months. Next thing you know, they hit the button and nothing happens. And I think you have to press down the button for a specific amount of time, and then that would reset things, and you'd be able to turn it.
Ready to connect.
There you go. Powering on, ready to connect. So come on, I can hear things moving around in there. Let's fire up the app. Okay, there's some initial screens that you have to go through, but this is basically the screen that you get. There's a connect button here, so I'm going to go ahead and connect. Require location permissions. I already did this. Okay, and then there's this little part in the app that I think you got to turn a lot of those things on. Network permission, we're going to go ahead and do that.
Press the reset button to confirm the connection.
Oh, there's a reset button right here.
Connection confirmed.
All right, there you go. It's pretty easy. Online activated, I'm activated. I didn't really have to do anything. So I'm connected to my house's Wi-Fi, I believe, and at least I thought I was. Let me check this out for a second. Yeah, my Wi-Fi says that I'm connected to my house's Wi-Fi, so Okay, so you have to copy the Wi-Fi password. All seems pretty straightforward, I guess. All right, so this is kind of like the ASIair, which I have a lot of experience running, and it's connected but without the internet. So it's connected to the phone, it looks like here. So, ooh, update firmware. So first thing it wants to do is to update the firmware, just like about everything else that you want to buy off the internet and connect to. So we're going to update the firmware. What I've heard is you cannot run the Seestar without this firmware update. So if something happens with the firmware where it bricks your Seestar, just kind of happened to a PlayStation once or twice, going to be a little bit of a problem. But for right now, we are going and we are installing. We're at 9% right now, 8%, and hopefully it won't take that long. But yeah, apparently the Seestar goes on the internet to register the device. It's one of the first things it does. Seems like it did that automatically and never even prompted me for it. One of the ways to connect the Seestar is apparently with Bluetooth, so you might want to check that out. I have heard from one of my friends.
Updating firmware.
Ooh, there you go, updating firmware. I'm sure you could hear that on the video. So yeah, he has connected this to his home Wi-Fi, and then this gets connected to this or something like that. And this is like a base. When I've tried that with the ASIair, it didn't really work all that well. So yeah, I just have a local connection with my ASIair to my tablet. We're at 47% right now. All right, the Seestar is restarting.
Restarting.
There you go, restarting. So I did buy a lens cap for it. Doesn't come with a lens cap, I don't think. There's just a paper piece, like a tape, covering the lens. That seems to be not that great to me, but it didn't come with one. Maybe you don't need it. This kind of looks like it was 3D printed, so remains to be seen. Rapid flashing yellow, firmware is updating. Solid
Powering
yellow.
on. Ready to connect.
Firmware update completed. And it looks like the on-off is yellow, but the batteries are red. So that's another thing. When I was charging the Seestar, all of a sudden the battery indicators turned all red. It never turned green, and I don't know whether that's when you're connected to a network or what, but okay, so it says that the firmware is updated, everything's complete. Hit OK. So that's what I did. Now I'm at the screen again where it's asking me to connect, so I'm going to hit the connect button, and ooh, authorize Seestar app only allowed while using. I continually get this screen, which I'm not really sure how to get past that. So enter app, choose to connect, Seestar, connecting. All right, so looks like I'm connected, 98%. So basically a lot of this interface looks like the ASIair interface, and there are several of the best targets to look at. So if it was nighttime, we'd be able to go to it like right now, but we are going to wait until we get the next clear night. It's completely clear out right now. Let me install the solar filter. Okay, so here you go. Let me turn this guy around. So there's little up and down arrows right here next to the Seestar. You move it up, you can see that the Seestar is moving up. This is a lot like the telescope control on the ASIair. All right, so it's asking me to install the solar filter. So the cool thing about the case here, and this case is really cool, it's a type of styrofoam that I haven't really seen before. It's almost like some kind of unique composite that's sort of dense and not like your normal styrofoam at all. And there's a compartment There's a compartment down here where you store the tripod that can hold the solar filter and other items. I'm assuming the lens cap as well. So let's go ahead and remove this. Guy's sitting right there. So then to install this, let me see. Right, solar filter's installed. Let's see if it's going to go to the sun. Kind of looks like it found it. I just saw the sun go through here and it's moving around. Okay, here you go. Interesting that it didn't ask me to level. I thought that that was kind of an important thing. Ah, here you go. The sun is starting to come into the field of view. Pretty darn cool, if you ask me. And then point the Seestar near the sun. Tracking the sun. Tap to start shooting. Ooh, look at that. That is awesome. Check that out. Those are some spectacular image. First light on the Seestar. It was that simple. You just saw me sit here and set it up and get going with it. I don't know anything about astronomy, or if I do, this is like super simple. I wouldn't think it would be this easy, but it is. Look at all those sunspots up there. I should get my Coronado out and start taking some solar images. Those are some spectacular looking sunspots. All right, there are options here to, I guess, magnify twice. Is that what's going to happen here? Looks like it might be a digital magnification. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Look at that. Those are some superb images right there. So, is it worth 500 bucks? Yes, it is. My Coronado cost probably almost $3,000 by the time I got everything set up for it in its current configuration. Look at that. That is spectacular. And wow, I'm going to have a lot of fun playing around with this. If nothing else, I figure at night I would set it up and have it go to whatever target I want to image during the night, and while I'm setting up my AVX and Edge or Astrotech 72mm. But this thing is awesome for the price. Everyone has a phone these days. You don't really have to know much about astronomy, but I think it would generate interest in astronomy and get people really involved in the hobby and astro imaging. This would be the first little kernel of interest in astro imaging, and I could see where people are going to want to do better. So that's it for now. That's my initial setup of the Seestar 50. As always, clear skies, everybody.